And welcome everyone to the second episode of the WonderFix. I'm Pirek and I'll be your host tonight. WonderFix focuses on explaining how changes from the latest hotfix affect your game, and will also bring up some gear, often mentioned as underperforming, and ask our guests to make it work. Speaking of special guests, today I'm joined by a very special member of our community. On his way to, I've seen 500,000 subscribers on YouTube. It's great accomplishment. Killer6 is here. Hi, nice to have you here.
Hello, how are you today?
I'm wonderful, thank you. How about you?
I'm doing great.
Let's get into the latest hotfix that we just got this Thursday. The new featured run involves Dragonlord and Ribula. That's quite a duo, both from like very start of the game and very end of the game. How do you feel about this choice for the week?
I absolutely love it. Ribula is a really rough farm in the base game because you have to run all the way across Snoring Valley. So this is a great way for people to get both the Cursed Witch Shield and the Bria's Breath, two really awesome items without having to run across the map to go farm them. So it's a really good way to get that. And then obviously Dragonlord has the Corrupted Plate Mail, has the Fate Bringer, and it's one of the best like overall fights, like boss fights in all of the entirety of Borderlands history, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's definitely something. I think getting fast to Ribula is definitely a huge benefit. Since you can run through the whole Chaos Chambers very fast. Speaking of going through the Chaos Chambers, this week's mini event, Blind Out Badasses, increased chances for cosmetics drops from badass bosses and increase their value by 50%. Also reduce the price of turning Chaos Chambers into Elite, so you can definitely get more from bunnies while fighting the Dragonlord and Ribula. Tell me, is there any cosmetic that you didn't get yet and you really want to?
Well, I'm pretty sure I've got all of the base game cosmetics at this point. I'm not 100% positive because there's so many cosmetics in this game, but in terms of like the PLC stuff, there's some really cool like heads, and I think I've seen Lazy Data rocking one of the masks that you can get. I think it's from PLC 2, and I just can't get that stupid thing. I've been like spinning that wheel for what feels like weeks, and I still haven't gotten it yet. So yeah, there's definitely some stuff that I want to try and get.
Well, hopefully you can get it soon. So tell me, well, if you have almost all of the cosmetics, which one is the one you like the most? Like, what's most surprising or fun for you?
Oh yeah, that's a good question. I think probably my favorite cosmetic that I've got is probably the Butt Stallion helmet head thing that you get from PLC 1. I don't see a lot of people wearing it, and you look so crazy in it. I just absolutely love it.
I haven't seen that one yet.
Oh yeah, it's awesome.
But there's like what? There's like 40 or more cosmetics per PLC right now, if I remember well.
I believe there's close to 80 per PLC.
Jesus. No wonder I haven't seen that one. Okay, let's take a look into hotfix changes. Apart from some visual adjustments, one of the iconic Graveborn skills got a change. Dark Hydra skill will now allow you to summon more than 3 Hydras, depending on the skill level. How will this change affect the Graveborn players?
Well, it's obviously a positive change because Graveborn, one of the cool things about Graveborn is the Hydra skill that they have. I think it's about halfway down the skill tree. I don't play a lot of Graveborn, so I'm not really the best like person to ask this, but they have that one ability that gives you like the Hydras, and this gives you more Hydras, so more dark magic damage, more healing, and just you're going to be stronger overall as a Graveborn player.
Have you like played a lot of? You say you didn't play a lot of Graveborn.
No,
but
I've avoided Graveborn. I just don't really enjoy the playstyle personally. But you know, I feel like anybody that enjoyed like the whole Krieg playstyle of like letting your health get really low and then popping your action skill probably will like doing some Graveborn stuff. But it's just not really something that suits my playstyle.
Yeah, that's a pretty valid point. People often ask if they played something in previous games, what should they go for in the Wonderlands? So that's a good point. Another change we have is Miasmic Mail have now a correct drop from the Wheel of Fate. So what exactly does Miasmic Mail do? Did you use it?
Yeah, so the Miasmic Mail, it has a couple of different things that it does. When you get a kill, it'll increase your status effect chance by 74% for 6 seconds, which can be really useful for certain like builds and classes. And then the second thing that it does is it will passively increase your status effect damage by 45%. So you don't have to do anything. You just will have that bonus status effect damage, which is actually beneficial for every class. Pretty much every class can take advantage of that.
Yeah,
So it's a really good shield, or not shield. What's it called?
armor.
Class mod. Yeah.
Class mod.
Armor.
Yeah,
There
armor
you go.
class
Yeah.
mod. Yeah.
I'm so used to calling them class mods. It's hard to change.
That's totally fair. I guess for the new players it's easier since they have no experience with Borderlands to like switch to that. I still like sometimes call words shields as well, so
Yes.
so to move on from. So Miasmic Mail is now a world drop, and it also drops from it have increased drop chance from Imelda. That fight is really something. Like compared to previous PLC, it's so different with each week. Did you fight Imelda on like the last weeks? How do you feel about these changes?
Yeah, so in the first week, Imelda versus my Stabomancer build, I just shredded Imelda, and it was easy. I've only fought her once so far in week 2, and she just whooped my ass. So my problem was just I got constantly swarmed by the enemies in there. So it can be a very tough and challenging fight. I know a lot of people, say that there's not enough to do. If you can beat Imelda on week 2, then you've got a pretty good build. But I have a feeling that a lot of people haven't quite got themselves to the point where they can take down Imelda, efficiently. So that's something that people could strive for in this game right now.
That's really good. Definitely helps with extending the end game loop with more challenging bosses as well here. So let's go to the second part of our little podcast called Make It Work. I got some gear I was messaged about that people say that are underperforming or just avoiding them. So let's see, for you I will have, let's go with Hack Wader. What can you do to improve Hack Wader experience?
Well, the good thing is the Heck Waiter got buffed basically 2 weeks in a row. The first one was like all the unique items got the ability to roll with enchantments. So that was huge for the Heck Waiter. And then the next week, they also did some damage increase stuff for the Heck Waiter. So the Heck Waiter got a 8.3% damage increase. And it says that the secondary firing mode is now properly damage scaling. And I'm not really sure what it wasn't doing before, what it's supposed to be doing now. But don't even bother with the alternate fire mode. If I was to say, what can you do to like make this gun work better? Honestly, just boost your fire damage maybe. I'm not really sure because it just works right out of the box. It's very strong, and obviously if you can get a primordial version, amazing. It's going to be pretty impressive if you can do that. I got pretty lucky and got mine, but yeah, outside of that, I don't know what you can really do to improve it, honestly.
And what about, for example, which fate makers does it, in your opinion, works best with, or maybe what enchantments should players look for this gun?
Okay, yeah. So on Stabomancer, I do almost exclusively Stabomancer when I play anymore, but Stabomancer gets probably the best benefit with this weapon because just the sheer amount of crits that you're going to hit with this thing. It's equivalent to like the Double Anarchy from Borderlands 2, a gun that you can hip fire. Fires really fast, does a lot of damage really quick. It's also like the Last Go from Borderlands 2 in that regard. So it's a really awesome SMG that you don't have to try too hard with, but it is locked to fire. But so yeah, honestly, I feel like all classes can really benefit from it, but Stabomancer with the crit damage bonuses, you're gonna really, really appreciate this weapon.
So, speaking of appreciation, any memorable fight that you had with using Hack Warder? Maybe, I don't know, first big kill where you discovered how good it is?
Yeah, so when I heard that it was getting buffed, I took it to I forget what the Murder Church. The Murder Church in Tanglewood. That's like my favorite place to go and like test out weapons because you get a good mix of like regular enemies, badasses, enemies with armor, enemies with shields. So I just jumped in there, and most of the enemies that you fight in there are not weak to fire. And I was just running through there like John Wick, just absolutely destroying these dudes. And I was like, holy cow, they've made this gun amazing. And I absolutely love it.
Sounds amazing. Thank you so much for joining me here. This hotfix was pretty small. Well, let's see if next we're going to get something bigger. So thank you for joining me here tonight. Very appreciated. And
Appreciate you.
thanks. And thank you for everyone who tuned in. For those who missed today's episode, we'll upload it shortly on YouTube channel. Links will be posted in the server news as well. So thank you so much and keep it chaotic great.